Scotty, beam me up.
Oh. Smash. Get over here.
It is pointless to resist.
The world looks mighty good to me, 'cause Tootsie Rolls are all I see. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Tootsie Roll, how I want your chocolatey chew. Tootsie Roll, I think I'm in love with you. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me.
Somebody have any change? Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
All right. We're in the Geek Den with Chris Stiles.
What up,
We're supposed to
guys?
have our buddy Lee Pierce here with us, but he had some prior commitments that he forgot about because, that's what we do. We forget.
But he will be here next week, right?
Yeah. We're going to talk to him next week. Probably watch him eat some very, very nasty stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. My sickles they're in the freezer right now. They'll be fine.
I think I saw the chocolate. Yeah, is that was the pickle, the Snickles? Yeah, right. The
Snickles.
pickles in the
He did
Snicker.
the nipple,
Yeah.
But this is a chowder sickle, clam
You know what
chowder
that-
sickle.
You know what that kind of makes me think of? That kind of makes me think of like a prank that like Junior would have done on Problem Child, like 1
Yeah.
or 2, like
Yeah.
like it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Like, aha! I've taken all the candy out of the piñata and I've replaced it all with Snickles. People are not gonna want to eat these pickles. They're gonna throw out. They're not realizing throwing out all their Snickers.
Putting the frog in
Halloween
the-
time comes. You kids are getting olive joys.
That is like I will say as like an adult now when I watch that one scene is like pretty fucking intense. I mean, there's a lot of moments in that movie that are just straight up murder anyways. That are like driving a bulldozer into your like motorhome, into your like trailer home, like that's murder. Like driving
But for the
like
average
your dad on the
5-year-old,
hood of the
it's-
car into a store, that's murder. Like
For
There's a
fuck's
lot.
sake, I just watched
What
that
the-
movie the other day too. That's such a
I
great
love Problem Child. It's so
That's a
good.
great
Yeah.
movie.
Apparently I heard this story recently. I think it was on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, actually. That like the reason you never saw that little kid again from Problem Child was because his parents like sued Universal because they found out like that Universal was like cooking their books and not giving them royalties, like every single studio does,
Yeah.
especially when you're like a young person starting out.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, you can either maybe have a career or you can sue Universal and like you probably win, you get paid, you be set for life, but you're never gonna work again as an actor.
Right.
And like, his parents probably looking at him like, yeah, he's cute right now, but he's a fucking ginger and he's gonna look awkward for a couple of years there. No one's
And
gonna
that
want
boy
to work with him
became
when he's
the
15
Shermanator.
because they want him to be the 8-year-old.
No, he didn't. That's not.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I think that's like the
Wait a second.
that's
no.
like the actor that played Joffrey on Game of Thrones, though. Like he went and played that role, and then he stopped acting because he was so good at it that when people ran into him, they would hate him. He
I hated him.
crushed that role, and
Oh, and that's
when you
like the
see him in
dude-
real life, it's like that guy's fucking evil. Get the fuck out of here.
That's like the dude from Ghostbusters who played
Yeah.
the EPA guy, Walter Peck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that shit like haunted him. Like he couldn't go out anywhere. Like people would be like, "You're a dick, man," you know. And the guy, and this is one of my favorite things, the dude from fucking 90210, who pushed Donna down the stairs. It was Jamie Walters. He was like a half a teen, like he was like the Leif Garrett of the '90s. Like he kind of sang and he kind of acted, but he wasn't really good at either one.
Yeah.
It was like a novelty that he did both, you know. And like he said though, like they had his character push Donna down the stairs on 90210. He's ruined his life. People come up to him like, "Bro, why'd you push Donna down the stairs, man?" Like, fuck. He'd be like, "Dude,
Push you down the stairs. It was a show.
it's a show, man." Like, and they couldn't get like he like couldn't even like people in the industry were like, "The guy that pushed Donna down the stairs. We can't get him in this." Like, you know, he carries too much baggage. Like, it's crazy how the fucking industry works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you play by the rules and you're fucked, and like you don't play by the rules and you're fucked. You know,
Yeah.
You go and do a great job and convince everybody that you're the kind of animal that would push Donna down the stairs, and then everyone thinks you're the kind of animal that'll push Donna down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I spend time in women's shelters. I really like listen to their stories, got in the headspace, and really fucking came back and fucking screwed me.
Gets into an argument in public. What are you gonna do? Push me down the stairs?
He was on some fucking like VH1 reality series where they tried to like resurrect old celebrities, and they literally had like a focus group, and they brought in like 50 washed up like actors, and they're like, "We found you guys to still like rate the highest in the focus group, so people find something like it." It was like Jamie Walters from 90210. It was the guy from Blue Lagoon. I think it was Adrian Ahmed was one of them. I can't remember who the other one, but there was like 4 of them.
Adrian's
And
the name.
I fucking love Adrian Ahmed. He's one of my favorite dudes ever. Bachelor Party alone is enough for me. Like that dude's one of the greats, one of the all-time greats.
And say what you will about the movie itself, but he did a really good job in Grease too.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned Grease too. I may have brought something over related to such a film today for the kiddies at home to enjoy. But we'll set that, you know, we'll set that aside for now. God, Grease 2, I mean, talk about a fucking cool rider, right? Maxwell Caulfield. And that's Rex Manning. That's fucking Rex Manning.
It is.
That dude is another one. Like, you're 2 times like a legend. Twice the fuck over. I mean, he showed up. I'm like, who's that guy?
But I always liked Grease 2 better when I was a little kid because I was fascinated by motorcycles. I loved motorcycles, and that was the vehicle in the second movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like almost no cars at all in the whole movie.
Except for the pink ones. Like that's it.
You know, well, the one through point for me is Frenchie. Like I'm in love with Frenchie to this day.
BB Con, yep.
Yeah, dude, like absolutely. Just like I don't care what the hell's going on in the rest of the movie, but there's like every now and again Frenchie shows up, and I'm totally fine with like.
Yeah, you notice how halfway through she just disappears?
Yeah, but like I feel like she's gonna come back, and she does. Right? Does she come back at the end?
I don't think she did.
Does she not come back at the end? I feel like every time I watch the movie, I watch it from like the halfway point now.
Yeah, I don't
need to see that first part.
I haven't watched that movie in years.
Fucking Rex Man. You know what else he was on? He was on the pilot of 90210, Maxwell Caulfield.
Yeah.
He was like the older guy who fucking Brenda lied to about her age. He was like, you know, he was like maybe 25 or something, and he thought she was like in college. And like she was like going over to his apartment and shit. It's like it's really creepy to watch now, honestly. It's like, oh, it makes me very uncomfortable. Like, oh no.
Yeah, that's
you don't really see a lot of TV like that where they talk about you know, issues like that, current event stuff. Like I think Roseanne tried, and then when she went nutty and well, not nutty, that's not nice to say, whatever happened,
right,
and disappeared, they stopped doing that entirely. They didn't, there was no moral of the story where there was a lesson for the day where, you know.
Yeah, that is true. Like Roseanne was good for that. It was like real life at the time, you know, like it was like a show my weird ass family could relate to, you know?
You mean like the OG Roseanne, like from the 90s?
Yeah,
Or like
yep.
80s and 90s, whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Totally. I grew up in the Midwest. Like,
Yeah.
that was so
You
that
grew
was
up in
so
Chicago.
reality. Yeah,
Well,
outside of Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just don't get that on anything now. I mean, the new show tried, but it got all awkward.
No, you're right. You're right. Like we don't really have any values in TV anymore. Like we're like, you know,
Everything's so reality based, but it's
yeah.
They don't give a shit about reality. They care about who's fucking who and who has the most money.
Yeah, and we're
Well,
like
you know-
embracing villainry. You know what I mean? Like you got Walter White and like Sons of Anarchy and stuff, and like
Yeah,
you know, we're
anti-hero
not really.
stuff.
Yeah, we're like
that, I mean, that's
demoralizing morals. You know.
that kind of stuff is always going to come back around every now and again. The
Yeah.
anti-hero stuff, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was big in the 70s,
Mhm.
and
That's true.
it did kind of come back a little bit in the late 80s with Lethal Weapon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Richard Donner, the legendary filmmaker who passed away the day of this recording at 91. You know, I could talk about him for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
The Omen, Superman, Goonies, Maverick, Ransom, just
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah, but like the thing
fucking
that struck
catalog.
me was like this was the first time we really centered like around a drug dealer being heroic. You know what I mean? That's where I was kind of like, whoa. Like
Oh,
Sons of
yeah.
Anarchy didn't even really bother me, but like when we glorified like Walter White, I was like, I think we crossed the line with TV this time. You know, because
Well,
we never
I
really
mean-
saw that too much.
But it even
I
went
think
further
not
with
on
the show
that
like
level
Dexter
anyways.
too.
Dexter's, yeah. I mean, how do you get
Yeah,
more
but
extreme than
Dexter
that?
was
A
like-
serial killer, right?
Yeah, but Dexter was
how
like
do you get-
HBO style, wasn't it?
Showtime.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. This
Showtime.
was
It's
like
all
basic
cable,
cable.
though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
basic cable versus pay cable. That's true.
Yeah.
The Sopranos, I thought, was kind of like the tipping point because,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
love
and
The
that's-
Sopranos, one of my all-time favorite shows. But the guy is literally taking his daughter to college and murdering a guy with his bare fucking hands.
yeah,
While she's in an admissions interview, and then
Yeah.
rushing back and lying to her about it.
yeah.
I mean, that's a complex.
But that's a good point too, because you know, like you had Tales from the Crypt and everything, but then like it wasn't TV based, and I think like once we crossed into basic cable with that kind of stuff, like I don't know, TV just went weird. It's not even really interesting anymore.
No.
Well, I feel like a lot of it.
Cable.
I feel like it kind of split into two ways. Like it's got this long form storytelling, which is mostly anti-hero based.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Matt.
Yeah.
And it's like the other side is this reality sizzle. I'm gorgeous, or I'm famous, or I'm making people suffer through eating hot sauce while asking them really probing questions. You know, like, look at
Yeah.
me, fucking, I'll do anything. Look at me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
eating bugs in a
exactly.
tank. I'm shooting fireworks out my fucking ass. Like, please look at me. I'll do fucking anything. Like,
Yeah,
and then there's the other thing I hate, the competitive art, if you will, things like Face Off or Ink Master or American Idol, where you
Yeah.
take something that's like, you know, not supposed to be competitive and you put it into like a karate tournament format, like,
yeah,
or like some
Yeah.
Survivor Series shit with
yeah.
singing.
Like cooking is
oh,
stressful
fuck
enough.
no.
When you put
Yeah, or-
money on the line with like a time limit, you know, I
And
could
that's the
only
thing.
imagine the stress those people are under just to be on that show. Like,
I couldn't do it.
yeah,
And I love to cook, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
do
And
it
I would
under
be,
pressure. I do it under
Right,
pressure
yeah.
every
I would
single
draw a
day.
blank right away.
Yeah, like it's because you got to do that shit on the fly, and
Yeah.
like, you can't put me on the spot.
And if you're on one of those shows, like their job, the people that are there every time, their job is to like make you fall on your face and scream at you and make you look stupid or make fun of you or make you edit you to look
Yeah.
dumber than you know.
Make you be watchable.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's another person
exactly.
I was gonna bring into it was like Gordon Ramsay kind of brought in the downfall of like, what is this guy doing on TV too? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, not that he's not like talented and all that, but he was a different kind of person we saw like put in charge and in a star. Like, you know, Andrew Dice Clay, we had him and stuff like that, but like this guy was just kind of vulgar and like honored for it, I guess.
Well,
You know
and
what I
just
mean?
being
Like-
rude. Like,
Yeah,
it-
yeah,
Yeah, just being a dick.
yeah.
John Taffer on Bar Rescue, it's like the same thing.
Oh
you
my
know?
god, that dude. As soon
At
as
least
he
he doesn't
starts
swear
screaming,
though. Like
Yeah, I guess
the
so.
Gordon Ramsay one's rough because
yeah,
he
that's
is
true.
British
Yeah.
to the core with his language. Oh,
Yeah, my roommates binged it like I think like a week ago or something. There was like a whole like 10-hour
It is
session of it all
entertaining.
day at my house, and I'm just like, damn, like you gotta watch it uncensored. It's way better. I'm like, okay. I mean,
I know what he's saying. He's
yeah, like,
14 ways to say cunt.
yeah.
I mean, I
Right.
get it. You know what I mean? Like, I watch zombies rip people apart, and I watch Train Spotting and all that fun stuff. But like, when it came to basic cable, I was kind of like almost turned away from it. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. Like, not that I judged it or anything. I just wasn't interested whatsoever. I was kind of like, this doesn't seem
Especially
like a
like,
basic cable idea.
I mean, I'm just a grumpy old man. I just feel like everything
kind
is
of.
getting worse. Like Comedy Central was so good before like South Park made it like complacent and shit. And like
Comedy
I don't
Central
know,
was
like the old
terrible.
Daily Show, like they used to show Kids in the Hall and like good SNL. Like
Yeah.
Comedy Central used to be
Good
great. VH1
stand up
used to
on
be
the
great.
weekend,
Like,
man. Great
Yep.
stand up
oh
comedians
yeah,
were always
dude,
on Friday
totally.
night.
Yep.
Friday night was the
Yes.
night if you wanted to see good comedy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
SNL marathons all day long from like the
Yeah.
golden age. Yeah.
The
Hell
British
yeah.
version of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
Yeah.
God,
Oh, there's so many in Ab Fab and fucking Viva Variety. Like there was some
yeah, dude.
deep cuts on the old school
Yeah.
Comedy Central and a lot of like
Yeah.
low budget 80s comedies that like weren't
Yeah.
getting the love on HBO or other places, because they couldn't afford much better back then.
Yep.
And wasn't that Daily Show was Comedy Central too, wasn't it? With Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
You're right. And before that it was with Craig Kilborn. And that's like my
Yep.
that's my favorite. Like no disrespect to Jon Stewart. I think he's great. But I loved Craig Kilborn's Daily Show. That was like one of my most nostalgic things of the 90s.
And I actually preferred his talk show over the
I
other.
don't remember it very well, his talk show, but I know it didn't succeed. It didn't last or whatever.
No. Well, he went more into movies and everything, and Craig Ferguson took over for him.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Craig.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that's a shame, man. I really liked Craig Kilborn, and I thought the Daily, he just should have stayed there. Man, that was like the perfect place for him. But he went from like Sports Center to Comedy Central to like a major network. So he was kind of like, I could see why he would think that's the move. That's what he wanted to do.
Too.
Yeah, he was in a couple of movies in like old school, I think, and a few other little flicks.
Yeah.
Benchwarmers was one.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's weird, like, I don't think he's as likable as like a Jon Stewart type, but his show was just really good. It had a great structure, and like I liked him on the show.
He has a great delivery. Like the way he talks, the way he can talk is just like it's second to none for me. Like he keeps your attention.
And it was almost like he was kind of like had this unique thing where he was bugging the guests a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just a tiny little bit, but he would poke at them in a way that like other people wouldn't. He didn't ask like these fluffy questions and
yeah,
shit,
the Daily Show got like too serious and predictable, after
way
a while.
too serious.
Yeah.
Like, and like I get it. Like I feel the same way they do about a lot of the serious stuff, but like that's not what I want on Comedy Central. I came here to escape from the serious stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I came here because like I can't stand that shit and I need some laughs.
That's how I feel about like Jordan Peele movies because they're so like off and reality based, and like that's not why I get into horror. Like I I use that to escape reality. I don't want to like watch something like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah, the stuff that hits too close to home is like, I don't want to watch that. I'd rather watch some like because, mystical shit or like Jason or Aliens or all of the above or what,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if I have the benefit of watching it in a group, because I'll tell you what, when we watched that horror movie, it's nothing I ever would have watched on my own in 100 years.
We watched Terrifier together.
Yeah. And
I've heard great things. Yeah. one of the conventions I'm doing, all the fucking people are gonna be there.
Yeah. I wish I could make it to
New Jersey Horror Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta watch those movies, man.
I would totally go.
You do have to.
Yeah. It's life changing.
All Hallows Eve, Terrifier.
Yep.
Right on. Yeah, I gotta definitely get into that shit. But yeah, that's
that is,
and for those watching at home, the conventions I mostly refer to are PA HorrorCon and New Jersey HorrorCon, and there's PA HorrorCon is in August, New Jersey HorrorCon is in September, and then again I think in November, making up for lost time after a year off. So, but a lot of cool peeps going to be like in the PA. There's going to be William Ragsdale, Felissa Rose, Judy Aronson from Weird Science and American Ninja. And also 90210 and Mark Holden from Huey's Big Adventure. Like legendary
Rob
people.
Zombie's Halloween's gonna be there as well.
Yeah.
Andy from Gremlins.
Yep.
I can't remember his character name.
Billy.
That's right.
Billy.
Oh,
The hell
okay.
Andy come from? Toy Story. Yeah.
Zach Galligan.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see his name on there, but that's dope. I've met
mission
him once
for
before.
that
He's really cool, really nice guy. What's up?
Yeah.
My main mission for that weekend is just to meet Tyler Maine.
Yeah, we will be there.
You know, I filmed a panel that he
We're gonna
did
be there,
previously. I didn't moderate the panel, but
Yeah.
he was a very charming guy and like really candid storyteller. Seemed very nice and stuff. You
That's
know,
awesome.
yeah. All the people I've met for the most part have been really, really, really cool. No, I've been lucky. No divas. You know, nobody's too big of a diva at least.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to cross paths with some legends like Linda Blair, you know, Cassandra Peterson, Dee Snider. Dee Snider is one of the fucking coolest guys I've ever met. You know, really nice, regular dude. You know, not a diva at all. In fact, his fucking agent was like a much more high-strung, you know, personality than he was. Dee just showed up and was chill. His agent was like, "Oh, you're gonna do this. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about that. You got to talk about this. You got to talk about that." I'm like, "All right, you know." Most of that, like I was already planning on, so no problem.
You're talking about this? No.
They're having two here this year too.
What's that?
They're having two cons in Alberta this year as well. One in Edmonton and one in Calgary. And so far, it's been home runs. Forget, like they do the celebrity guest announcements a week at a time for a certain amount of time, and then it just starts pouring in. And in Edmonton this year, it's Michael Rooker, and I don't remember. Oh heavens, I should have had this written down for it. But it's a great lineup because we don't usually get the guests like that in Edmonton. We're so far away from anything cool.
Yeah. Which one is
William Shatner? Yeah.
He's going to be at both.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
I swear to
This
God,
is his 91st birthday tour.
William Shatner's fucking 91.
Fucking one.
Man.
Jesus, man.
My wife's
Hello,
already met him
man.
too.
Dude, he took Live Long and Prosper to a whole new level.
Yes, he did.
But
He was
I
great
already
for
have
his
my
age,
plan.
man.
Yeah.
Got
I'm
your
going to go
plan?
meet Michael Rooker with a bag of chocolate-covered pretzels. I've been training my whole life for this.
Oh my god, that's fucking incredible. Yes.
1995.
Everyone there is going to be talking about Yondu. I don't want to go. I want to go into surprise. Yeah,
Chocolate covered pretzels and have him sign the bag.
yeah.
Oh man, that would be awesome. That'd be legendary.
That'd be fucking great.
Especially if I actually had chocolate-covered pretzels and he actually took one, that'd be brilliant.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
Like a
That
white
video
paper bag.
will
Spinning.
Just you'd never take a pretzel from a stranger. I can't say I would.
No.
Not an open bag. If it was like a bag, a sealed bag of
Take a
like
sealed bag, yeah.
a sealed
My
bag
memo.
of like Schneider's with the Hershey's. You know, those are awesome.
Oh,
Once you
man,
eat those,
those
you'll
are
never
good.
go back to Flip's pretzels again.
Nope. Fuck no. Flips suck. Go to
Yeah, they really do. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with them, but now like
on them are the fucking tits.
yeah, those things.
Just like this beer.
Yeah, you'll
They
just
have
go
peanut butter
in-
cups with pretzels in them now. Those are insane.
I'm not a fan of that.
I love it.
Like Take
I
Fives,
love it.
I cannot stand those fucking things.
You guys just have
love it.
way too much cool stuff. Hey, what are we gonna do today? We're gonna combine a chocolate peanut butter cup and a pretzel. What the fuck?
But the chocolate factory is
It's
literally
science.
2 hours from my house.
Yeah.
You know, that is
It's all
What
kind
kind
of
of Willy Wonka shit goes on there?
I feel like
They
it
have
is the
Hershey
way,
Kisses
you
for
know,
light posts.
This is why I'm nostalgic.
In the
This is
actual
why
Hershey Highway.
This is why I'm nostalgic for the 80s and 90s, because instead they were like, we're going to combine a haircut with a bump of cocaine and a bolt of lightning. And it's going to be called the mullet. And it's going to live forever. You know, it comes in many names and many variants. There's the fucking, you know, Kentucky waterfall, the Tennessee top hat, you know, whatever you want to call it. The, you know, the business front party in the back, the skullet, the skullet. There's so many forms. There's like the McCartney mullet, somewhat classy mullet, you know. So many mullets, the Star Wars mullets.
Then you got the frullet where you just let the top grow and coming forward.
Oh yeah, the hockey mullet. There's just like endless variants, like headband mullet. You know, when you're like LeBron James, you're thinning up front, you want to kind of like hide it, give me a lowered line here, and then pour it out the back.
Going Canadian on you, Chris. There were a lot of mullets. Maybe not a lot of mullets in Degrassi, but there were some real classic ones for sure.
Oh, the OG Degrassi. You know, I've been really craving Degrassi like more and more, and I'm trying to figure out like why I haven't watched the show in years now. But I think it's because we keep doing these things, and I'm getting a little bit of like my Canadian envy is like rising and rising every time we do one of these. I'm just like, man, I'm living in the wrong fucking country. This is a shame. I should be, you know. There's only one channel of Degrassi that plays Degrassi that I know of. It's on, Pluto, and at least it's 24 hours. But they don't play it sequentially, and that won't do for me. I can't live like that.
Doesn't Tubi have
anymore.
Degrassi?
I think so.
I need to get the original series, because all I have is the Next Generation. And
I want to say the original is on Tubi.
I want to say it too.
Sometimes it is, but again, it's not sequential. I don't think it's all on demand or anything like that. Or maybe maybe it is on demand, but their listings are often like off by one episode or something. So like when you play episode 3, it says you're playing episode 2. Like there's some glitch in their thing. Like it's almost if it starts with like episode 0. So like all their things are off by one episode.
The pilot episode.
Like you'll be reading the synopsis, like next up, like, you know, Manny wears a thong to school or something, you know, whatever the fuck it is. and you're like, I just saw that episode. What the fuck, you know? But then you play it and it's like, oh no, it's the one after that where
Netflix used to do that too. All back in the day. Like it hasn't really been as bad lately, but a couple years ago at least it did that. Quite a few shows for me.
Yeah.
Go to play episode 2 and it would say episode 1 and I'm like, wait a second.
You know, I'll hit you with some really fucking nerdy shit. I've been rewatching Growing Pains, right, from the 80s.
Yep.
And I got to like season 5, and for some reason, that's when the Warner Archive stopped like actually pressing discs and started burning them. So they're like kind of like DVD-Rs or whatever. The quality's fine, and they play, and I made backups just to be safe. But they wouldn't play it in my PlayStation, so I'm like, oh, I need to get a computer just to play all the ISOs that I backed up of my DVD. Like I shouldn't have to be fumbling through discs and like hoping that they play anymore. Like that's 2021, damn it. Like
concern it.
I need to build my own Netflix called like Shitflix of all just the weird shit that only I want to watch, you know, like fucking Airborne and shit like
I'm
that.
down.
You know?
I am totally down.
Yeah.
Just take all my money. We'll make this work.
There's got to be a way to do it, right? Like Kickstarter or whatever. You just get all the movies
basically,
that like no
honestly,
one wants
it's just
the rights
like
to.
It has to be nothing more than starting a platform and buying rights, in all honesty, and like searching the public domain to start.
You gotta have you gotta build a software and a user interface. Like I do know some people in like programming and stuff like that, and I'm always asking like, how do I build like my own social media thing? Like, dude, that is so insanely hard. Like, are you nuts? Like, you know, like anything you want to do is like impossible unless it's just like building your own website through like GoDaddy or whatever those fucking like build your own website tools are.
Yeah.
And I can't even be bothered to do that. I have almost 500 posters. I have almost 450 posters done. And I'm like, I can't be bothered with like making a website. Fuck that shit.
Well, you don't really need one these days because, you know, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got fucking YouTube.
Yeah, man,
you know, you don't.
I took my blog to Spotify. Like I went voice. I don't even do written thing anymore. Like,
nice.
You know.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Coming soon to Spotify, Punk Rock Geek Den Audio.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's possible.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Should be easy. You just rip the stuff right from the YouTube.
That's all it is. Pretty much.
Yeah, and convert it, just
Like as soon as
that's the thing,
as soon as we're done recording this, it'll give me like an audio and a video file.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, you just post the audio
Yep.
file to Spotify or whatever. Or slap bumpers on it, do what you want to do with the commercials and stuff.
Well, on Spotify, you
which
can
I
add
love.
music in too.
So maybe this is like do you know what the commercials are going to be for tonight's episode? Did you have choices lined up?
I don't know. You got a
or-
request?
I don't know. I'm just always fascinated by what
I am too. I don't decide until I put them in.
I don't know if you, and I don't want you to, I would never ask you to repeat something you've already done. So you've probably already done things like My Pet Monster.
No, I have not done a My Pet Monster one yet.
Ooh, that would be a good one. Or like Karate Kid action figures.
Yeah.
Or the old
Check this out.
Remember those fast tracks, like radio control cars that actually had 10
Yeah.
treads on them?
Yeah.
Or like
Check
Super
this out.
Soaker. I don't know. I'm very nostalgic. Something about the summer, I get even more nostalgic than I normally am, and
Dude,
I'm always very nostalgic.
I'm the same way. I don't know what it is. I watch old shit. Like, I'll go through
always.
Tubi and YouTube and find old shit, or like history documentaries. Like, I've been watching How the Earth Was Made. I don't know if you ever watched that show on History Channel. It's pretty fucking good.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Dude. Fuck. I feel like I have to get that tattooed on me somewhere.
I know,
someday.
totally. I have had one since I was 3 years old.
Oh, that's so dope.
Why don't we go ahead and take a quick break, fellas?
Yeah,
Should we
for
take a
sure.
little break? Right on. Cool.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Clapper is available at Meyer, Perry, Hills, and Osco. Get
My Pet Monster.
He's bigger than big.
When he fights battles, he always wins.
And he's your friend, too.
He breaks his chains.
Put him on you and break away, too.
With My Pet Monster, you're busting loose.
He's big.
And scary.
And helps people, too.
And he's your friend, too.
My Pet Monster plays all day.
Tough.
Awesome.
Looking great.
And all your friends will want him for their friends, too.
My Pet Monster has breakaway chains from Amtoy and American Greetings Company.
Yeah. All right, we're back. So, leading into this, I kind of told you we were going to talk about Back to the Future, Dude, Where's My Car, those kind of movies, like the movies we loved as teenagers, young adults, whatever we were at that time. Like Bill and Ted, for sure, is there.
Oh, yeah. I got a fucking Bill and Ted tattoo. It's gonna be a little hard to see, but yeah,
Fucking
phone
awesome.
booth right there.
That's
The only thing on my, other than my knuckles on my entire right arm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a whole 80s movie sleeve. But so yes, I am here for this, man. I am down for this conversation. Like, this is basically like, the biography of young man me. Like Bill and Ted, Back to the Future, a lot of R-rated shit, RoboCop, Predator, Terminator, Commando, that kind of shit too, Rambo, Dirty Harry, but yeah, specifically Back to the Future was one that I just like was insane for as a kid. I would just literally watch the movie, and as soon as it was done, I would hit rewind, hit play again, and watch it. And like, I could take care of myself for a while during the day, just doing that, just with that one take.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Karate Kid was another one too. And I was thinking about this today, like, there are certain things that like film has a very profound effect on pop culture. Like, you can give a lot of credit to like 90s goth just to like little girls watching Beetlejuice and like Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like the fabric of like the modern hipster was somewhat like laid in movies like, the first Karate Kid and like C. Thomas Howell kind of movies too, like Secret Admirer or Patrick Dempsey movies, where it's like, okay, it's sort of getting cooler to be the nerd. It's starting to, It's you can kind of be
Yeah.
like there's sort of like a different way to be like a leading man. It's not like you don't have to be Indiana Jones punching people and you know nothing against Indiana Jones.
To be square.
Yeah, there you go.
It was kind of a slow roast too. Like you didn't get it in every single movie because there were a lot of wicked action movies out of the 80s and 90s. But you would get those other movies every once in a while, and it didn't kill that flavor at all.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. And like, you know, I always think too, like, oh, they're, you know, what if they remade Back to the Future? Like, it would suck so bad if they remade Back to the Future. Like, could you? Because like that movie is so beautifully 1980s in such a timeless way, though. Like because of the things they chose. Like, you know, think about Marty McFly. Like he has a video camera. He has a Walkman. He has a skateboard. He has the poofy vest. You know, like he plays guitar. He's in a band. Like these are things that are like kind of born of that era. If it was like nowadays, he would just have an iPhone, and that gets rid of the Walkman and the fucking video camera. He would ride a fucking Razor scooter or those stupid shoes with wheels on them or something awful. You know,
or one of those called those Segways.
Yeah, something just like really not as cool as like an old school skateboard.
Yeah.
And instead of playing guitar, he'd probably be into like just something off like competitive.
He'd be doing like EDM.
Like
competitive baking.
Yeah, or EDM, yeah, you know what I mean? Just something awful, right? Something just not cool.
Just throw some screws in a blender and hit puree, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is though, if you know, this would almost be like an SNL skit, right? You did do it nowadays, and Marty McFly went back 30 years, like, you know, and his parents were in like the 80s or something, they'd be like, this guy sucks. I don't want anything to do with George McFly because he's friends with that weird guy, like.
But we have
talking about electronic music. Fuck that.
I've got a mashup theme that I saved earlier, Craig. You want to pull that up? It's
break one out.
Yeah, if Marty McFly was Kurt Cobain and went back to like the 1950s and was trying to get back to 1989.
I think I know where you're going. I think I saw this. I think I know what you're talking about.
I believe I shared it. Yep. There.
That is from Photoshop of Horrors, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. They're a great site.
They do some great stuff.
They've done some really great ones, man. Like Screech and Chong. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, that's.
I believe their caption for that was "Polly Be Good."
I think it was that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's one of their classics for sure. So I happened to bring a couple mashups as well, if that's okay.
Let me change you over.
You don't even have to ask.
Let's see, what do I have up top here? Okay.
You're good.
So where do I go to do the share screen thing again? It's been a minute here.
Right on the bottom there.
Bottom? Why don't I see it more? Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. Shit, yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay. All right. So, first I figured I would just show you, you know, today's mashup of the day, the most current thing. You know, we're talking little 80s and 90s stuff, and so sometimes girls just want to have fun. It's just a, you know, dumb, fun little title swap, but I just thought it would be good.
But it's,
you know, the craft is just like you know, one of those beloved pieces of the 90s, and I just had to like mash it up with a somewhat more obscure but still beloved piece of the 80s.
Absolutely.
So we were talking about Back to the Future as well. I happen to bring a couple of those. I don't know if I've shared this one here before or not, but I always imagine like if you know, because you could do more Back to the Futures.
Oh God!
But you just have to like do it around. You don't do Back to the Future 4. That's how you ruin it. But if you do like these side movies, like this is like an interesting thing. Like Leah Thompson at the end of Back to the Future 2 is effectively like, oh well, boyfriend's back. And that reminds me, I have one more that I'm going to have to add to this queue at the end. That's Back to the Future related, because you know, you opened up a Pandora's box here.
That was the idea.
So we talked about the best. We talked about the best haircut of all time, and why not give it its own mashup? This one will be coming up in my memory soon. It's been almost a year since I did this. I mean, that right there is pretty much the ultimate trifecta of mullet,
Absolutely.
like the cinematic mullet universe. Like that's what the MCU is to me, the mullet cinematic universe.
And here they are.
And I'm here for it. Yeah, like I need like Teenage Mullet Ninja Turtles and like Mullet Take Manhattan, and like I just need as many mullet things as I can get my hands on. Speaking of mullets, and also speaking of Richard Donner and paying homage to him, I thought it would be appropriate to share this one. If you had a different Mel starring Lethal Weapon, which again, I just love Mel Gibson, and I love Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
And I just think I would probably do any Mel Gibson movie and swap Mel Brooks into it just for shits and giggles, because I'm weird like that.
Nice.
But another one of those movies we talked about was Grease, and kind of relating to another movie I grew up on was The Karate Kid. So sometimes crease is the word, my friend.
Oh my!
I just like I would do, I would do anything to see this. And it's kind of funny that we kind of got this a little bit in season 3 of Cobra Kai. If you guys are fans, we sort of got a little bit of young Grease, like his little fucking 50s or 60s car dating a cool chick or whatever. Grease.
Oh.
John Grease was the cool rider of his dad. He was definitely the fucking Zuko until Terry Silver showed up. But I got another one here. Let's see. I don't know why I was just in the mood for a skate movie today. So why just get close to the cube when you can actually gleam it?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, some people come straight out of Compton, and some people straight skate out of Compton. And this is the movie that I've really wanted my entire life above many others. I don't know, I'd watch fucking anything with Ice Cube. I think he's amazing.
Oh, he's brilliant actor.
Another one, going to the 90s, and again, I'm sorry I brought a lot today.
No.
Yeah, that's a great.
The man is the fucking king, right? This is an entirely different film, and I finally found a poster that had room for his hair. I wanted to do this for a long time, but his hair was too tall to fit on most posters, so I was like, I'll use the sequel poster.
I remember this one well. I believe I said he was like the guy from Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, I think you did post that GIF of him, and that guy just passed away. But I mean, long live the king. That's all I can say. So I got 2 more Back to the Future ones. One I got real quick for you. And apologies if I've shared this here before, but
oh man,
the spin-off we fucking need so bad.
I would pay money to see that.
It's actually one of my least favorite Stallone movies, but I would so watch this version. I think this would just add something. So
Thomas F. Wilson would definitely add something to that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the man is incredible. So I'm gonna, in the spirit of Back to the Future, I just remembered there is one more that I really should share with you guys. So I have to pull it up. Though, give me 1 second.
While you're doing, may I just say happy belated 4th of July and cheers.
Yes, absolutely. I had a 4th of July one and a skate related one too. Don't tell me to share that because I will. Sorry, let me pull this up here.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all.
But in the spirit of this is my ultimate Back to the Future spinoff, actually. I think it's the most fucking interesting thing that ever happens in these movies is the whole plot line of fucking Principal Strickland in a fucking canon films movie. It's like Death Wish 9 starring Strickland, and it's just incredible. That's my favorite part of the whole trilogy of films, I think. You're the son of a bitch that's been stealing my newspapers. He's had it.
One of the greatest lines in film industry. I love that shit. One of the greatest lines in cinema history. You're the son of a bitch that's been stealing my newspapers.
Yeah, and then just fucking eat lead, slackers. Like, and those dudes roll up like it's one of those quotes that, like, if I said "Hey Strickland," you would know what I'm talking about. But if I said "Hey Strickland," like, you know, like exactly what I mean.
Yeah,
it's it's like the Doubtfire quote. Like if I said, "Why in God's name are you dressed like a woman?" You'd be like, "What?" And if I said, like, "Why in God's name are you dressed like a woman?" Like, then you'd know I'm Lundy. Another one of the greatest supporting characters ever. Fucking Jonathan Lundy. But yes, always hard at work with the mashups, For those at home, follow Pop Culture Punk on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll get to see a new one of those every day until I am just completely doing nothing but Degrassi memes because I've run out of everything else. Which is funny.
Actually,
I did do one of those recently. I don't know if you saw that one, Matt. It was Spin City.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, it was with Spinner, obviously, from the Next Generation. But it was a little bit, that show's a little bit bigger here in the States than the OG version. But to me, it's like the tied together, I don't know. The way they do it is what I love about it. The way they tie the shows together. I don't know. I got nothing but love for both, but I don't like the third generation. Don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's the one I had no use for. That's the, isn't that the one Drake was on?
Yeah. What's that?
Isn't that the one
Drake was on the second generation. So yeah, you probably don't like the second or the third. The third.
No, I like the second. It wasn't bad at all.
Oh, okay.
I liked it. But I mean, the first one, we had two channels here when I was growing up, and it was either CTV News or Degrassi. So I watched all Degrassi all the time.
Degrassi's the shit.
Well, not all the time, but I mean, I got to watch TV an hour a night.
Right.
Dude, there's no shame in it. Do you know how much fucking Family Ties I watched? Like when they during the 2000s, like they brought back Family Ties and it extended the life of all my VCRs by like 5 years because I had to wait for like DVD. Like I seriously would like drive to Blockbuster as fast as I could to buy more blank tapes so I could record more episodes of Family Ties. For that like 1 week when they first brought it to Nick at Night. I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. They're showing all the best episodes. Like, this is amazing.
I did that with Different Strokes.
I love Different Strokes.
Yeah. I brought that show to TV Land. I was like, I'm recording everything.
So
because it was a week long of it. It was great.
I think it was during the break. I was telling you guys about a very special episode. It's one of the Funny or Die things on YouTube.
Yeah.
They did an episode on Different Strokes, and it's fucking like really disturbing, but it's fucked up that this ever happened. The bicycle shop. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that always fucked me up, especially about that episode, was that's the grandfather on Family Ties. That's Maggie Seaver's dad.
Yeah.
So like, to me, there's a connection. Like, that's kind of the same dude doing those things in that fucking episode. But like, they pull no punches. They're like, they actually fucking did this shit. Like, are you serious? They like tear that show if you ask. Then they do the Mr. Belvedere episode where like the kid had AIDS. I don't know if you remember that from back in the day.
Vaguely.
But, yeah, they did it with very poor taste. Let's just say the laugh track alone in an AIDS episode is like such a product of a different time. Like, as much as I love that era, like there are things about it that were not perfect. So.
Oh yeah, the 90s too. Sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, dude, they roast Seventh Heaven on that show, like the marijuana murder mystery episode. Like, there's like incredible shit. Like like 13-year-old white girls, suburb gangs, like just ridiculous shit. Just incredible.
And then all the stuff to come out of the woodwork about that the lead guy in that show. Dark dude.
So my mom loved that show. In the 90s, there was like a couple shows she would plan dinner around. 90210, Melrose Place, Roseanne, and Seventh Heaven. That was like the one at the end of the 90s. That was her show. It was the only one that was still on the air, right?
Yeah.
And fucking, I had to watch so many episodes of that shit. And yeah, that dad turned out to be a fucking hell of a creep. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad dude.
Yep.
Yeah, awful.
Horrible human being.
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking about this today too, I feel like all the, not to get too, political or whatever, but I feel like all the white guys that do that shit somehow don't go to jail. But
No,
like
you're right.
any of the guys that aren't white do,
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting how that works,
It's the money thing too. Like they have the money to get out of going to prison. You know what I mean?
Cosby has fucking all the money in the world. Yeah, and I guess he got out of prison, so
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is part of it, Now he's finally fucking, he's out or whatever. I don't know. We've turned into a dark corner here. Back to Eat Lead Slackers.
Actually, speaking on that, you have inspired me to actually start doing my own mashups. So I've kind of gotten a best of the best of my own here. I don't do like movie mashups, but I kind of do sometimes. Any kind of mashup I just do like silly ones. Yeah.
The sillier the better. Like I am trying to out stupid myself every day.
Let me see here. I've got this one. This was actually the first one I ever did. It's still got my old tag on it. Hulkamania.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Yes. Oh my god. That rules.
And then,
so good, dude.
Sleep Away at Camp Nowhere.
Yes. That's fucking great. Dude, that's amazing.
We got Welcome to Actors Jungle here.
Yes. Oh, bro, so good. No vacancy. But you gotta have patience. What if you get caught out in the November rain?
We're gonna go a little punk rock here with Pennywise.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's so dope.
I love that so much.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
And then one more here. Holly Rubens.
Yes.
Oh
God.
Bro.
Fucking
One on the ropes.
Amazing.
One on the ropes.
The weasel.
That's so brilliant.
The word of the day is buddy.
Yes.
That
man, international treasure.
Stoney is the crustiest dude I know.
Nope, I just want to munch.
All you care about are chicks munching and grindage. Something like that.
All right, the last one, since you brought up Gleam in the Cube.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude. Yes, that's fucking awesome.
And that's about as good as I do.
That's so good though. Fuck. Shredding the cube. Yes. Oh my god. Dude. Fuck me, that's good. I can't believe I haven't done anything with Shredder. That's so fucking genius.
See that? I just gave you a
bravo,
brainstorm.
Sir. Bravo. Slow fucking clap. It's like the end of Lucas right now.
Yeah,
starring Craig fucking Lucas. You're getting the slow clap, just like fucking Corey Haim.
Yeah,
the jacket.
Somebody start playing the Final Countdown here.
I have the 45.
Oh, you have the Lucas soundtrack?
No, I have the
Final Countdown.
The Final Countdown.
Oh, the Final Countdown. Oh, okay. I'm like going off into my own world thinking about the soundtrack to Lucas.
Speaking of soundtracks, I just listened to the Angus soundtrack again today for like
oh my God.
9 millionth time. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is like
great 90s.
That is like the ultimate 90s right there. Like Mid-90s. I think Angus says mid-90s.
You know
100%.
what's a phenomenon that stopped in the 90s or like just died with the 90s pretty much? Movies don't have contemporary soundtracks ever anymore. You know, a
No,
lot
they
of
don't.
90s movies
Not
did
unless,
have
unless
retro
they're
soundtracks.
independent.
What's that? Yeah.
A lot of independent movies do, but
Those
most
don't have
movies-
like wide releases or even any releases. You could like make a
No.
playlist or something, you know, but
Yeah.
That's the problem with it because everything's digital these days. So
yeah.
why would they release a soundtrack? But vinyl's coming back, and they just like I can go to Walmart and get the Guardian soundtrack if I wanted it.
But that's not a contemporary soundtrack either. That's a retro soundtrack.
Very true.
Yeah.
They're just like part of what made like those John Hughes 80s movies so fucking great was the fact that that music, like John Hughes knew what people were listening to on Friday night versus like Monday morning, you know, like and this week versus last week, you know, like he had his finger on the pulse of like pop music, and he obviously loved it to an extent, like in the, you know, he loved it through the ears of like a, you know, a teenager. Like music never lost its luster for him. And it shows through the soundtrack to like every movie he made in the 80s. And then the 90s, you know, I think he just sort of moved into it, you know, culture had changed, and I think the kind of music he was into wasn't really being made as much anymore. And then he made Home Alone and Curly Sue and was like, I'm just gonna sit on a fucking mountain of cash. Like
and I think it was the last that you ever seen of those was the coming of age movies.
Yeah, like, you know, Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
Had a somewhat contemporary soundtrack, a little bit mixed there with like Paradise City and It's Tricky.
That's
a
right,
couple
too.
like
They had a
ginger
bunch
songs.
of throwback stuff too.
They
Even
had some
American
throwback
Pie.
stuff. Yeah, American Pie I think had a mixture, but yeah, there was contemporary, you know, definitely a contemporary push on American Pie still. But that's 1999, you know.
Road Trip as well. Road Trip had a wonderful soundtrack. I felt
some throwbacks though for sure, like I Want to Rock by Twisted Sister.
It's Tricky, you know.
Yeah, was that in that too? Yeah, it was like It's Tricky was in a lot of movies.
You know what did have
time.
an amazing contemporary soundtrack though, like even in like the metal days for its time, was Freddy versus Jason. That soundtrack is insane.
That soundtrack is great.
For 90s soundtracks, I tend to go with the earlier ones. Like Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is one of my favorites.
No, but I mean like that's kind of like the last one I remember being like contemporary that I remember.
Yeah, I guess that's, you know, that's a good point.
End of Days had a fairly decent soundtrack for as far as like contemporary stuff. It had a lot of new metal on it, and it was right timing for that style of music.
Yeah, it was just like off. It wasn't too popular. Like we went off that area.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone bought it.
It still happens so seldom though. Like even the ones I'm thinking of, they really love pulling out that classic rock. Always, there's always that token classic rock song.
Yeah, there is like always a kind of a tip of the cap to that.
Yeah, like look at Iron Man. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do for the soundtrack for this movie? Talk to AC/DC.
Yeah, right. They could have talked to Black Sabbath. They missed the golden opportunity, right?
Isn't Brian Johnson your third brother-in-law?
They used Iron Man for the trailer. Why wouldn't you use it for the fucking movie?
Yeah, that is fucking silly. Now that I think about it, but yeah, Wayne's World was a great 90s soundtrack. Obviously, Clueless had a good actually that had some old songs on it too. I think Clueless did.
Same with Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World definitely. Yeah, they had some older songs too.
Yeah,
right.
But one soundtrack that I can think of right now that I don't know, contemporary for the time, probably PCU. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie or heard
That's the movie that got me into George Clinton.
Nice.
Actually, you know what did have an amazing soundtrack, and I got one more matchup here to match it to. Let me find it. Was this series right here? Hold on, pull it up.
Waiting.
I know. Right there. That soundtrack is insane. All of those soundtracks.
Oh yes. that's supposed to be Death's solo record.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible, dude. So I tried to do. I tried to do a mashup, but I just couldn't make it. Like my Photoshop skills weren't quite up to snuff for this, or the images. I didn't have the images to make it happen.
Yeah.
I tried to do a Van Damme swap with him and on Death Warrant. The Death Warrant with him, but like, it just like I don't know. It looks like he's wearing a white T-shirt, and he, I got the skin to look all white and pop the head, and I'm like, well, it just disappears into a white T-shirt anyway, so it's like looks like shit. Like, just poor thinking on my part. Like, like I could change the color of the T-shirt if I wanted to. That's easy enough, but then it doesn't look enough like Death Warrant anymore. You think of him in that white T-shirt and that typical karate guy pose, and it was it's sort of funny, but not good enough for me, I guess. I don't know. I still want to do something with him so bad though, like Death of a Salesman, like anything, like, fucking anything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome one, man. Bravo.
Good.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah. But back to soundtracks, I think I'm gonna stick with Angus as like the best contemporary soundtrack I know of, like
of the
Empire
90s.
Records.
Yeah.
Oh, Empire Records had a great one.
Empire
so
Records.
Empire Records was a great one.
Interestingly enough, my friends interviewed the writer of Empire Records, Carol Hyken,
on
their show and on their podcast. Hey, shout out to Lamar and Nicole at Taped Off TV. But she wrote that movie in the 80s. So she said her soundtrack choices, the whole thing would have been so totally different. It would have been all 80s music,
Oh, wow.
Because she wrote that kind of about like working at Tower Records or something in the 80s. And I thought that was sort of interesting. But obviously, you don't know it, but Empire Records has quite a few throwback jams in there too.
It's got Dire Straits.
Dire Straits, exactly. Romeo and Juliet. I think that's from like '79 even. Like that's like, I think of it as an '80s song.
Yeah,
but I think it might actually even be from the late '70s.
That song by what's that band? The This Is Today's song. Like they play it at the ending credits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that.
I watched that movie too.
Such a great complimentary.
Yeah.
Like the movie, the music totally drives that movie in a great way.
Yeah.
And it probably was fucked with by record company people, and like you're putting this in, you're putting that in, but like it all worked. It all came together.
Yeah, it did.
Whoever cut the movie made it all happen.
Yeah.
God, that movie's fucking perfect. That's one of those like I'll always remember the first time I watched it kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like I was in 7th grade. And like I was like I had a couple hours to kill before like I was gonna go like meet like my girlfriend at like the roller rink, the cool guy on my rollerblades. So it's just an embarrassing time.
Those were the days.
Yeah. Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
But I just sat there and watched that movie. I was like, this movie rocks. Like this movie's amazing.
Yeah. I think Empire Records and like I said, Angus. I think those were like my top 2 coming of age movies. I watched them over and over. Like, I mean, I did it with other movies when I was younger, but like those were like my coming of age ones. Those top 2. I think that's
Weird Science and Dazed and Confused for me a lot. Like there's a lot of, I feel like that movie probably captured the closest to like my teen years.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't, I didn't grow up in the 70s. I wasn't in Texas. But I don't know. I could point to every character in that movie and be like, that's this person I knew growing up, and I'm this person, and when I'm young, I'm that person. When I was a senior, I was this person. When I, blah, 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 blah. Like,
that's what I mean. And like those movies, like that was my coming of age time. Like I was like around a teenager in 94, 95, so yeah.
Oh yeah,
I get it for sure.
I was in, I think, 3rd grade when I first saw Dazed and Confused, so I'm a little bit younger, but
yeah.
Oh
no. I mean,
you're gonna hate me when I tell you this, but I was like 19, 20
when you first saw it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Fairly.
So
recent.
did it have much of an impact on you?
Okay, Chris, you talked me into it. I'm going to share my 2 memes here.
Yes.
They're history memes. They're not movie memes. I am not a good Photoshopper. In fact, I didn't even make the one. I had to get Craig to do it.
Let me
I
make you
love it.
host.
Teamwork.
And
We'll
I will-
start with that one. Whoops. No, we're not going to look at my face.
Work
He's
makes
gotta
the
switch
dream
you
over.
work, baby.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Nope, there you go.
All
You're good to
right.
go.
So this is the one Craig helped me make. First of all, this is about the musical Hamilton, where they actually say Rochambeau. And every time they sing it in that scene, the only thing I can think about is Cartman punching somebody in the balls.
That's so good. Oh, yes.
And this one is a bit more of a deep dive. I went on a YouTube rabbit hole one night, and I learned the story of Oliver Cromwell's head. So you've heard of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Now it's time for Where in the UK is Oliver Cromwell's head.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
And for those of you that
yes.
don't know, this is a legitimate thing. His head was an heirloom for 300 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking incredible. Yes. I love it. You know, my friend was on that show in the 90s. My buddy was on and he won. He fucking won. Where in
Really?
the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Oh.
I've maybe watched 2 or 3 episodes in my life where someone won, and one of them was my buddy Lamar. Like when he
It was
was
so
like
hard.
11 or 12 or something. Yeah, ridiculous, impossible. I would have never like Jesus, dude. I knew you were smarter than me, but fuck, like
Wandering
you know,
around,
you're
like running over a map of Africa, and they say like something that you've never heard of before, and you're just putting them all wherever.
Yeah.
Mozambique. Yes.
I know Madagascar and South Africa. Say those two. Come on.
Oh my God. You know, in 6th grade, I had to do a report on Nigeria, so I still remember a few things about Nigeria, but that's about it. I don't know anything about like any other country in the world. Like, I'm so bad at geography, and you know, I never had a good history teacher until I was like a freshman in high school. But then I got into history a lot from maybe so like the 1950s to today, or like World War II to today. Like put it that way. So maybe the 40s, 30s,
Right,
maybe. Like when you go further back than that, like I can't relate to like the Old West. You know, like I have no entry point to like imagining life in that time period.
My
You know, like I would have been miserable. I would have fucking killed myself when I was like 10, because I've been like, this fucking world and life sucks.
Or, you know, broke your arm and died or something. Like,
Yeah, right. Something. Yeah, I got myself shot. Like, you know,
some obscure law.
or
when I
like
was
you know,
growing up, my pap would watch westerns and stuff, so I can kind of relate to the old western stuff a little bit.
Yep.
Because
well, Young
I grew
Guns
up with
is my shit.
Oh,
Gotta
Young
preface
Guns.
that. Young
Young
Guns
Guns
1
was
and
brilliant.
2. Oh,
Young Guns
dude.
2, I think, was like, yeah, that was like my first, I think, official movie of the time that I would play over and over. Because, like, I was big into hair metal when I was like 5 years old. Like, I went to see Poison and everything, and I found out, like, Bon Jovi was in that movie for like a split second, and I watched it over and over. Because my wife was like, yeah, he gets shot off the roof. Or my aunt was like, yeah, he gets shot off the roof. I was like, what?
No, he's in the prison pit with
What?
Doc for a second.
Yeah.
You know what's
yeah.
funny is Tom Cruise has a brief cameo in the first Young Guns.
yeah,
He's like
right.
a dude in a mustache who like shoots like out, like you can
Yeah.
like Google image it and like you'll see like, oh yeah, that is Tom
Wasn't-
Cruise. Fuck.
wasn't
All
he-
these years I've been lied to.
wasn't he in Outsiders as well?
Tom
Or
Cruise
am I-
was an
Oh,
outsider.
Tom Cruise
yeah.
was, yeah.
He's 2-Bit, I think.
Yeah.
Was
2-Bit
the character
Doc,
he
yeah.
played. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has his snaggletooth and shit.
So long since I've seen that movie.
Rob Lowe writes about Outsiders. Sounds like the craziest audition ever. They had every like actor in Hollywood, but he said the one thing that was interesting was that like Tom Cruise was like so stoked and enthusiastic about everything that like everyone hated him. They're just like, oh, this guy, like,
Naturally.
Yeah, like it just like he's just too like stoked on everything and like too like, oh, I'm an expert at this and I'm an expert like no one liked this guy. He's like, and then fucking Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
There's a mashup. Then
That's a better movie.
Swayze, he's like, then Patrick Swayze came in at the last minute with like a different kind of energy that made Tom Cruise look like he'd been fucking lobotomized, and everyone loved Patrick Swayze. Like, so figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also said that Matt Dillon was his hero because they did like a press junket for like The Outsiders. He's like, and I watched Matt Dillon walk down a hall and there's like photographers and press and all this crowd of people Googling over him. And he just fucking like, you know, looks at this pretty girl, like leans over to her, whispers in her ear. This transaction takes less than 5 seconds. Then she like fucking comes out to the crowd, like he puts his arm around her, they get in the elevator, and before the elevator door is closing, they're making out. And I just think to myself, Matt Dillon, my fucking hero. I'm like, that's a great story. I don't know. Rob Lowe's book has a lot of cool stories like that.
Yeah.
And that's like my hero, is Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe, man, he's something else. He's another one of those stories that like,
yeah.
I don't know, he almost like Robert Downey Jr., but not quite as bad. Like there was some shit going on with Rob Lowe for a little bit, but he just turned out to be a really nice guy who got caught up in some shit.
Yeah.
You know? And the show he's doing with his kids now, that's fucking great show.
I didn't even know he had a show with his kids.
Isn't that 911?
They travel around and
his kids just bust his balls the whole time because that's like all they do.
Fucking great.
Oh, that's awesome.
They all bust each other's balls. It's like Ozzy and Jack almost.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. I should watch that because I remember people writing articles about like Rob Lowe's sons are roasting him on like Instagram or Twitter or like whatever, and it's hilarious. Like,
that's how the show is. They're just giving him shit the entire time. It's amazing.
That's so fucking good, dude. That's classic. But Rob Lowe and St. Elmo's Fire, like, that was my hero growing up, man.
Yeah.
Talk about like birthing the modern hipster. That's a big part of it for me.
I love him in Tommy Boy.
Yeah. Oh, and Wayne's World, dude. Like, I was thinking about it, dude.
Yes.
He does not like Wayne's World works because of Tia Carrere and Rob Lowe. Like, other than those, you take those two out of it, and it's just a 90-minute SNL sketch, and those never work.
No.
The ladies' man, we're looking at you.
Oh God, I literally, you know, mom and dad, if you're watching, earmuffs. I doubt they are, but I saw that movie on acid, and it was still boring. Like,
that's pretty bad.
Not enough Cavassier in the world to save that movie.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No idea. But
what if that, you know, it'd be really kind of funny if there was like, because you know sometimes like a movie will be like a big hit in one country only if it bombed everywhere else for like some random reason. It'd be really funny if that movie was like huge in Poland and they have like Kielbasier and Cavassier parties. They all get together and watch The Ladies Man. I don't know. It's a reach. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those weird Saturday Night Live movies out of the 90s, some of those are just garbage.
You know which one I do love though? Not as a Saturday Night Live movie, but just as a movie. Stuart Saves His Family. I love that movie. It's a Harold Ramis movie. The fucking cast is incredible. Harry Yulin as the dad, Vincent D'Onofrio as the brother. Like that's the most I feel like anyone's ever come to like closest to putting my family on screen. Like the alcoholic dad, the pothead brother, the overeating sister, the overcooking mother, like I guess that makes me Stuart or the pothead brother. I don't know which one. Oh shit! I guess I would have to.
That was such a good bit too, because he always start out so calm, and then by the end he was just hair messed. He was all disheveled, trying to preserve somebody's anonymity, and then the guest would say something and piss him off, and he'd just be so hurt. I'm not very good. I suck. I don't even know why I'm here.
And then there was It's Pat was really bad movie.
Oh yeah.
And I love the character. I love the bits. I love the guy from Kids in the Hall who was in the movie with him, who played Chris, the other gender ambiguous lover of Pat.
Dave Foley.
Dave Foley. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that movie, it just, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, yes, it was a very popular character, but literally you cannot find out if you find out what Sex Pat is, it's ruined.
Yeah.
And you can't do a movie and then not have the people find out. So it's weird. And then like everyone in the universe of the movie found out except for the audience that was watching the movie in the theaters. It's a really weird choice. A lot of weird choices went into that movie. But fucking Julia Sweeney's great though. So
One of the good SNL movies was Blues Brothers.
Oh, all day.
that's true. But you know what's funny is like I barely consider that an SNL movie.
Yeah, because
I feel like Blues Brothers was like something SNL got gifted with, you know?
Yeah.
right, because I believe the band existed before the sketch.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Say that Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi were doing their thing before the sketch even became a thing, which to me is just fucking awesome. But that movie is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Animation from God.
What light?
You know, but you're bringing him up. The guy that you really feel bad for is Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
There's no way on earth you're not even going to be funny. Not a chance.
No.
To be fair, he's probably had the best career. Like compare his career to like Frank Stallone's. Compare it to like, you know, Don Swayze's or, you know, like all those other like weird fucking,
Kevin
you know.
Bacon's brother, I don't even know.
Yeah, Chad Lowe, exactly. Thank you.
Lowe.
At least Chad Lowe did do a Christy Swanson movie though. But but yeah, Jim Belushi, I mean, for like Taking Care of Business is classic. Mr. Destiny is a classic. And I don't care what anyone says. No one could have done About Last Night better than Jim Belushi. Not even John Belushi. Like,
didn't he do a dog cop movie too?
K9 and K911.
That's the one.
sequel. I'm definitely gonna fucking mash the shit up out of those movies.
And he was Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's true. That's a pretty good.
That was a very good movie.
Yeah, and he did a Tupac movie. You know, like now we're like his mom. Like he's a very nice boy. Like
Leave him alone.
Tupac.
That mean Canadian can just shut his mouth. Hey,
Here I sit waiting for the Matt Foley movie. All I ever wanted.
Oh yeah, the motivational speaker, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
damn,
maybe
that
that
could
could
have been good.
That would have
been
been
We feel like we kind of got it a little bit with the bus driver and Billy Madison.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, that's almost like a prequel. That's almost like
mean,
Matt Foley before he like snapped.
Yeah.
He was sort
When you
of
think about it, we always did kind of get Matt Foley.
You know,
in
and
every one of his roles at some point. You know, like even in Tommy Boy when they're sitting in the office. Oh God, what's happening?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's only a little bit of separation between like Tommy Callahan and Bennett Brower and Matt Foley and Chris Farley, you know?
Yeah.
Mike Donnelly. You can't forget Mike Donnelly.
Mike Donnelly.
Mike Donnelly, yeah.
Folks. Vote for Donnelly.
Vote for Donnelly.
All about.
For my money, my favorite Chris Farley, and I loved him on the Superfans too. Being from Chicago, I have to love that. But my favorite Chris Farley is when he's Adam Sandler's wife, and she's just reading suggestions from Zagat's places for them to go. Dude,
and he's just sitting there.
Holy cannoli.
Yeah. Oh, Hank. They have a beautiful villa terrace and a vista view for a late night rendezvous.
And then he said that,
10 days she talks. Each word more useless than the next.
gotta give me the shotgun.
Give me cancer now, God. I really think those two brought out the best in each other. Like there was the bit where like he's Adam Sandler's father and he's trying to like hire him to mow your lawn. He's a nice
Hurley
boy. Like, he
voice.
won't come inside your house. Like
Just let the boy mow your lawn.
like I want to sleep in your bed. Let me sleep in your bed. Like, let him sleep in your bed. He's a clean boy.
And isn't there one where he starts? He's like, just let him. Wait, what? Why? No.
You can guarantee he was standing outside the studio window there, like making faces the entire time, like Adam Sandler would record an album too.
Oh God, those albums, dude. Remember
We're gonna laugh
albums?
at you.
Remember when that was a fucking
We're gonna
thing?
laugh at you. Yeah.
I had so many
Fuck
comedy
me in
albums.
the godass.
Toll
I
Booth
had
Willie.
like I must have had like 50 comedy albums that I all recorded on the mini disc because I thought that was going to be the archival format of the future. Of all the shit I never converted, I probably missed those comedy albums the most.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Dice Clay and Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Brother,
You know?
kick my dog.
Adam Sandler, yeah.
Hilarious.
I can't see, damn it. You son of a bitch.
You fucking pricks. I hear every
Oh
fucking
my
word
God.
you're saying.
Frank fucking Rizzo, asshole.
Hey, lady, you play with your cock and balls for mama.
Hey, you
No,
see
Mom,
these
I'm not
suspicious looking
doing that.
characters? Oh, yes, sir. One time at a ball game. Oh, it was awful. They beat me merciless and took all my shoes and glasses.
Are these people working out or are they having sex?
Oh, fuck me, dude. That's another Jerky Boys, man. Classic 90s right there.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
That, and I'd say, you know, the 90s had a slew of, like, maybe the last gasp of, like, live-action kid movies. You know, like, today, everything's animated. Every other weekend, there's a new animated movie, and everyone is the best movie that anyone has ever seen. Like, and it's just like, I roll my eyes like, you have to see Frozen. It's the best movie I've ever seen. Like, you have to see Up. Up is the best movie. You don't understand. It's so good.
Man.
Like,
That movie's amazing.
I'm not saying that it's not, but every one of them is like supposedly so good that like eventually it just becomes boring. Like I want one to be a piece of shit already, and I'll go see that one because that's interesting to me now. You know,
that's why I watch Adam Sandler movies because critics always shit all over him, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it just because you're telling me not to.
Yeah, I like Hubie Halloween. That was badass.
Oh my God, that movie was fucking hilarious.
That one was
if you haven't seen Hubie Halloween, watch that.
I think I did see that one. It's one of the ones I tend to not like the Sandler movies where he does weird voices.
Yeah, that's true. The voice does throw it off.
So like the ones, but you know, I mean, everything's weird. You know, it's interesting. Like I think about this. Almost everyone from Saturday Night Live that becomes a movie star versus everyone who doesn't is because the movie star ones, they do like more than one thing. They do like a couple, maybe just 2 or 3 things really well. Like Sandler, he does obviously the screaming and yelling very, very well. The like, you know, once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday. Like,
He's losing his mind.
Yeah, he
I'm
does that
reaping
shit
the
really
benefits.
well. The Happy Gilmore, like, you're gonna die, clown. Like that shit.
I love that.
That shit's great. Like that's typical fucking great Sandler. The other thing he also does well is he does the like, oh, kind of like the Incredible Hulk, huh? Like where he sort of talks really soft, and it's sort of like it makes the freak out parts better too. You know.
Yeah, and then like you have like guys like Toll Booth Willie where he can do both. He can like go from calm to screaming.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you.
Like Happy Gilmore, like that entire movie, he's Toll Booth Willie pretty much.
Yeah.
Without the accent. You know,
I could have lived with the Cajun Man movie. I thought Cajun Man was, or Opera Man. Like Opera Man was great. Oh,
His Eddie Vedder was really good too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And sing
Oh
the
no.
four sentence line of the song.
I remember seeing some like SNL documentary though where Julia Sweeney was like talking about how she had some skit that she had like prepared for all week and she thought it was really good. And like the last skit to get cut before showtime was that one because like Adam Sandler wanted to play a song like or something and she was like, oh, great. Like and that's got to be tough being on those types of shows when someone breaks out, you know. Like it's how what do you do if you're on early 80s SNL and you're not Eddie Murphy? Like you're fucked.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah, you're Joe
Piscopo.
Piscopo.
Remember anybody from that time period besides Eddie Murphy?
Joe Piscopo was in Sidekicks, so who's laughing now?
Sidekicks. Oh, yeah. That's a
Oh, Matt's like drawing a blank. He doesn't know you don't know Sidekicks, do you?
Nope.
Love Sidekick.
Oh my God,
Brandon
Chuck
from
Norris
Chuck
is
Norris.
fucking best piece of shit.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah,
so
it
good.
is. It
Check
really
it out.
is. That was
Like,
another
okay,
one I
there's
just watched over and over and over.
90s teen heartthrob Jonathan Brandis is like an asthmatic, nerdy, scrawny kid who dreams about Winnie Cooper. You know, he goes to school with her, Danica McKellar or whatever. And yeah, bad guy kid, karate, kicks his ass. He has to learn from like a sassy Asian, you know, seemingly like unobvious choice guy. It's fucking, it's so good. And then of course at the end he teams up with Chuck Norris because that's what you do.
And isn't
Of
like,
course.
isn't it like Chuck Norris?
The whole
playing
movie, he's
Chuck
having like
Norris?
fantasies about being with Chuck Norris,
Yeah.
and doing like Chuck Norris-y things. So it's really
Yeah,
fucking
like
hilarious.
Chuck Norris basically kicked down someone's door and he was like, "I'm making a new Karate Kid." What? I'm making.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
oh,
it's written
okay.
by like Aaron Norris, his brother, and like directed by as
There's
well.
one rule to my Karate Kid: it can't be as good.
It's all the same guy. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, I need to make Karate Kid, but I need to make it a lot less good. But the guy who plays the sensei is really great, and you see him in a million things. He was in Taking Care of Business. He played Sakamoto, and his name is Mako.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
He was in
pronouncing that wrong.
Conan the Barbarian as well.
Yes, exactly. Yes, thank you.
Yep.
And so he's really good at making like movie bullshit work. You know, like the kid's talking about dreams, and he says some ridiculous line like the dream lies within the heart of the sleeper. When the eyes open, you will see where the dream ends and reality begins, like or something. Or it's like I say it and it doesn't make any fucking sense, but he says it, and you're like, yeah, totally, of course, like
Get it done, bud.
the heart of the sleeper. Yeah, it's like Gary Busey's have to speech from Rookie of the Year. Like,
Oh my God.
everyone is half win and half lose. That's where the fear lives. The have to. Oh my God.
I wonder what instruction he was given before that.
Have to.
Just Gary. Okay, go.
I just did a line of blow from the have to. So
No,
I've got a
not that
really
kind.
good take on where to do this scene.
What are you eating there? One of the best Salisbury steaks I ever had in my life. Must have
Oh
those.
yes, the best. Okay, so now I have to fucking share another mashup. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but
Nice.
I didn't reshare this in my memories when the year anniversary came up because no one got it the first time, which I knew was gonna happen, and I didn't care. But it is just like one of my favorite inside reference jokes because that is like. I just absolutely love that he's like a fucking world traveled baseball player and he's probably been to every major city and the best fucking Salisbury steak he's ever had is on a plane. So
Right?
I thought
That's pretty
the
sad.
spin-off. Oh shit, I don't have screen sharing right now. So
Hold on, let me.
oh right on. I'm so sorry.
I'll
But
take
this is
host.
You're good, buddy.
and-
I apologize to the people
Oh,
at
you're good.
home. Okay.
The hell with it.
The hell with it.
They're
So
sticking
this-
around anyway.
So the Rookie of the Year spinoff I've always fucking wanted. Right here. It's a real sizzler. It's like, God damn it. Why can't we have nice things? Like, why?
Take
What do
my
I have
money.
to do to get this made? God damn it.
Take my money, please.
It's fucking incredible. Like, I need Gary Busey just giving life advice in any shape or form. Like, I'd watch anything with Gary Busey as like the mentor character, you know?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine, like, I would hate to see someone remake The Karate Kid, but if they did, it should have Gary Busey as Mr. Miyagi or
Yeah,
Daniel.
we need like a
you know?
Busey knows best.
Oh,
Oh, that
dude,
show.
he's a fucking legend, man.
Gary Busey. I love that man. He
I
was
can
great.
pick you up by your upper lip, punch you in your solar plex, let you know I'll be right back. Pick you up by your ankles and drop you down again.
Yep.
We all need to commune with the artist within ourselves.
Like, yeah, and you watch him in something like, you know, he was in Lethal Weapon, a great villain.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon, a fantastic villain. And then you watch the Buddy Holly story.
And he was really good in that.
He was.
Like, sick good.
Yeah. He was amazing.
Chet the fucking Rocket Stedman, though, man. Like, when he's like, don't call me the Rocket anymore. Why not? Because I'm not the Rocket anymore. Shit house lines that only Busey could fucking deliver.
That was the 90s, though, man. That's what made those movies so great, because the lines were so fucking cheesy.
Chet Stedman's not your father. Your
He's
mother doesn't
my
even know who
client.
your father is.
He's my son. He's my client. Yeah, 'cause that overrules Parenthood, buddy. It just fucking pops him right in the fucking face. That shit was great.
You know, that was one of those moments when I knew I was getting old, because I was starting to see like Rowan Gardner's mom is hot. I was like, ooh, Rowan Gardner's mom. Like, yeah, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm old now. She was like a joke to me when I watched this and I was 10.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what's up, Rowan Gardner? What up, Mrs. Rowan Gardner?
Yes. God damn.
You're fucking taken by Chet Stedman and Jack Bradfield.
Oh man, you know, we've covered Busey, we've covered Bill and Ted, we've covered Patrick Swayze, and we haven't talked about Point Break.
Oh my
God. I am an FBI agent.
What are you, Johnny Unanimous?
The best character name ever. And it's only because Johnny Alabama was already taken. Fucking Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah.
Bodie, you got everything. That movie is like perfectly 1991 in a way that nothing else could be. You've even got dudes from the Chili Peppers in that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got fucking
even
Anthony
like the
Kiedis starting
fluorescent
shit.
surfboard.
Yeah, right. Like even their fucking their wetsuits are like perfect. The haircuts, everything.
Yeah.
Oh. There's a lot of weird shit like some hotshot punk quarterback. They're coming here. Take up my case. Like a Three's Company where you see them together. It would be incredible.
You know what fucking Sam Elliott.
Tim Allen?
Sam Elliott.
Oh, Sam. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Or Ordinary Apocalypse. Like,
Anyway, these are going off, like I said, magazine.
Like, there's no conversation any one of them could have with any other one that would be wildly fascinating. You know, just like hearing their voices respond to each other. They can be doing anything. They can be
Sam Elliott would be there in the corner like crazy. Shut the fuck up.
He was
Just wish up to him.
Chris Christopherson would just be like, wanting to leave the whole time. I said I didn't want to be here, man. I'm old. I'm tired. Damn goddamn man.
singing at the window again.
You figure out your goddamn mind.
once in a while they have a special guest You call it like cereal
everyone that comes on too, like, God damn, Bob Jack, did stand-up comedy, pantyhose in the finger grumpy old bastard. That's a 90s. That's a fucking 90s thing, man. Grumpy old man. And I would be all for it being staged like right now with De Niro and Pacino and grumpy old man.
Yeah,
like they're old mobsters like Brooklyn or something. Yeah, and they're fighting over free pressure. Take my goddamn money. Fucking perfect. Perfect.
That would be amazing. Yeah, take my fucking money. I love Jack Lemmon. I love in that movie. Yeah, we need Al Pacino.
We also need some like Home Alone style ex-mobsters.
Or do it with like Seagal and Van Damme. They really hate each other. It's fucking outstanding. And they both suck right now. Like that's even more outstanding.
Get off me, don't you know I'm a cop?
Yeah, I think
considering my show.
Apparently Seagal choked out John Leguizamo on the set of Executive Decision. Because apparently Seagal shows up and just like immediately starts walking and went around. He's like, I'm martial law. What I say on this set goes. And like, there's something like that. Like, I'm the king of this set. What I say is martial law. And John Leguizamo didn't like blink. He like started laughing. And he immediately put Leguizamo in a chokehold. And it's like, you acknowledge that my words are martial law. Or I will end you now. Wow. And I guess that's what you do. Yeah, right, probably. They're like, we're gonna be on set, bro.
Russell's gonna be the hero of this.
I don't know. A grumpy old remake probably get away with it with Schwarzenegger and Stallone too, probably.
Right. I was gonna say that. Exactly.
Think about all the action heroes back in the day that wanted to see the movie together. You know, they might have been in a movie together, Expendables. But they didn't.
Grumpy old Expendables.
Huh?
Grumpy old Expendables.
There you go.
Yeah.
Two retired mercenaries.
Yeah.
Or just take like fucking Carl Weathers and Dolph Lundgren, and they're the grumpy old men. Or just give me a buddy cop movie with them. Like shit,
Yeah.
anything.
Kinda-
Yeah, or they're grumpy old cops. Fuck, like
Grumpy old cops.
I want a grumpy cinematic universe. Damn it! Like every
Yeah,
2 or 3
grumpy
years,
everything.
I could take some kind of grumpy ass movie.
That's Lethal Weapon.
Oh, you
My
say
wife's
it's Lethal
throwing
Weapon?
some- Yeah, my wife's throwing suggestions at me. She said Danny Glover. I'm like, he's already did Lethal Weapon.
But he's too old for this shit.
He's been too old for this shit.
Oh man,
You're not wrong, Sam.
Your Loaded Weapon was perfection, though. I love that movie. Fucking, that is a sneaky, legendary cast too.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
Emilio,
sequel.
you got Sam Jackson, you got Kathy Ireland, Dennis Leary, Charlie Sheen, Tim Curry, William Shatner. It's fucking
He's in that movie too for a minute.
F. Murray Abraham. Who's in the movie for a minute?
Whoopi.
Oh yeah, Whoopi. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, Whoopi.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
I left out like 12
Fucking
people.
mimes.
I know. Oh, Phil Hartman, Corey Feldman. Dude, it's epic. Epic. Paul Gleason is in it for a minute. Shit,
Yeah.
no, that's 403. Becker, third floor. This is the York informant shootout. Shit, no. Get your shit together, man. This is Becker, 403. We're on the third floor. So
I
good.
love how when he walks through the
Suicide.
trailer on the beach, it's like a mansion on the inside, like some Who TARDIS or something.
I painted with light colors to make it look bigger. So goddamn good. Yeah, I love that. Well, and then the suicide, they pull the thing off. She's like, must have caught herself by surprise. A little sensitive here. Sorry. This loser punched her own clock on a one-way ticket. Like, this low-life junkie loser. Fucking, it's a real shame. I'm experiencing a slight burning sensation, Sarge. What do you expect, her if your whole damn foot is on fire? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I could just quote that movie for fucking days and days and days. But instead of that, I will cut myself short. And do I still have sharing privileges, or is that been taken away again?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, we'll share one more. And then we'll probably have to wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it after this.
Good minute here.
So
yeah. Fun though.
Yeah,
we did talk a little bit about 90210, and that ties into this. This mashup is the mashup that made my friends made me get on Instagram. So because we've been talking about it, and because I love this movie almost as much as life itself, only true 90210 fans are going to get this, but David Silver and Scott Scanlon were playing with quite the loaded weapon back in season 2. Hey, David, check this out. Now, funnily enough, I dropped this in a 90210 group, and people got offended. Of all the things that I've done that are really offensive, people got offended by this. They were like, "What? This is supposed to be funny? You think that's funny? Scott's dead, bro." No, he's not. Douglas Emerson is alive and well. In fact, he shared this on Instagram and thought it was funny. So he said he was honored by it. But yeah, fucking the team up we really need.
Yeah,
I try and limit my 90210 because that's one of those things. I could do 90210 every day. I fucking love that show so much. That show is the best. Yeah. I got to do the people under the stairs with Donna getting pushed down the stairs.
Yes, you
and Ray standing at the top. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a bridge too far. Even in fictional 90s verse,
full circle.
Domestic abuse is not really funny. I mean,
no,
as I laugh at
it's
it.
pretty funny.
You know what? I think when it happens to Tori Spelling, somehow it is funny. And chops, kudos to her for having the comedic chops, and not knowing it. I love Tori Spelling. All the Spellings are legends. I know you're watching, Tori. Hit me up. Come on the show. Would love to chat more with you about Loaded Weapon.
Yeah.
But before you go, Chris, if you want to switch it over to Craig for the posting.
Yes, I'm sorry. That's a good call.
There we go.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Cool.
We got a couple of Bill and Ted memes I want to throw at you.
Oh, yes, please do. I love Bill and Ted.
Yep.
I literally had to make one of Alex Winter that says, "Don't be dead, dude."
All right. We pull the first one up here.
Yeah.
There's that one.
Yes. Just because we mentioned Where's My Car earlier.
Oh, God, so good. That's so good.
That would have been an amazing movie, I think. With those two.
Hell yeah.
With those
I did do one of those with Paul Walker and Vin Diesel.
Oh shit.
Maybe a little too macabre.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, this one.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, this for you, Joe. Totally private Idaho adventure.
Oh my God, I would pay to see that, especially if it was Gus Van Sant.
Yeah,
that would be fucking amazing. I would be all about it. Tell me there's some more.
Oh, yeah.
There is more.
You found a bunch. The first TED Talk, of course, just because it's a classic.
Oh my God, yes, bro. Fucking TED Talk. Oh, I love
just
it.
Scoured the internet and saved a bunch of these.
Oh, we got a dude, where's my car one too.
Yeah, we do have a dude, where's my car one.
Pull that one up.
Yep. Yeah. It's the Tesla car. It's in space.
That's so good. That's so good. That's awesome.
It's a space Tesla.
And then we've got his
one.
personal favorite one, I'm sure. This is a little bit of music relation here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, that's a great soundtrack with Bill and Ted.
Yes.
Yes.
Like Pants of Disco too. Have you heard of crying? Oh my God, that's so good. That is so fucking good. Oh, I feel like Ian Ziering would be the lead singer of that band somehow.
But
Steve Sanders. Yeah, he's crying at the orgy with his shirt buttoned all the way to the top button.
I said I cried there. They asked me to leave.
Again.
Oh my God. Fucking A, that's so good.
Again.
Yo, my favorite, and I hope this is one of yours. It's the jock giving the speech where it's literally his entire like speech that you hear typed out. It's like bigger, get smaller. Things are more moderner. Computers.
Computers.
Standing high school football rules. So good. Oh God.
Chris, buddy. This was so much fun, like always, man. We love having you here.
I love hanging with you dudes, man. It's always a blast.
Always a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good place to call it a wrap for the night, fellas.
Yep.
I think so, man. My face hurts from laughing so much.
Mine too, man. You want to go ahead and plug what you got coming up over at
what do we have coming up this week? Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch.com/Fandom Spotlight, Facebook.com/Fandom Spotlight, or YouTube.com/Fandom Spotlight with the LITE at the end, by the way, on all of those. We will be bringing the X-Men back into the MCU. Or trying to figure out how to do that.
Yes!
Stab at it. We may just be throwing darts at a board like Jason Alexander and Blank Man, like Wolverine and sex with an alien and but that's the plan. Talk about why we love X-Men, bring it into the MCU, and do a new movie. How do you fucking recast the unrecastable roles?
Yep.
We'll find out. Maybe Wolverine will be played by Bobcat Goldthwait. Just have to tune in.
Bold.
Hey.
I'm not averse to going bold.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that. That sounds like it's going to be a great conversation.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Well, you guys have all been on the show now except for Joe, so you're going to have to come on next, buddy.
Joe, that sounds like a wheelhouse.
When you're talking Jurassic Park, man, let me know.
That's the shit, Jurassic Park? Okay. That's good to know.
Jam right there, dude.
Fucking A. Yeah, talk about jams. John Williams' Jurassic Park theme is my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the all-time greats.
Life finds a way.
Yes, sometimes you got to go for Goldblum, man.
No,
fast. Yeah. All right, dudes. Well, always a pleasure.
Right,
Until next time, guys. I'll see you soon.
Signing off from the Geek.
All right, gentlemen.
Hey, Fred, give me a pizza with extra cheese.
Extra cheese.
And hold the tomato sauce.
Hold the tomato sauce.
And hold the crust.
Hold the crust.
Hey, Jimmy, give me a cheese with nothing.
Nothing?
Now you can have the best part of the pizza without the pizza. Polly-O string cheese, all natural, individually wrapped cheese snacks.
Is this what you want?
Bellissimo. Magnifique.
C'est bon.
Try Polly-O string cheese. It's the best part of the pizza.
I'd like to bike. I'd like to pony. What I love is my first pony. I like pizza pie.
Sony makes small products for small people. Walkie-talkies, Walkman stereos, and cassette recorders. Especially made for kids.
I